Honestly, Pokemon vs. Palworld is the latest example of the terrible countermeasures that large franchises start to take when they begin losing. I think that Palworld was the exact competition that Pokemon has needed for years in order to get their act together and begin innovating again, so it's extremely sad to see that someone that wants to call themselves the definitive winner within the creature collector niche is doing everything they can to monopolize the genre with patents. In this video, I want to talk about the patent that Pokemon filed, I want to talk about Palworld's competitive advantage, I want to talk about why Pokemon needs the competition, and I want to talk about things that I think that Pokemon should do in the future in order to continue to grow. So let's dive in. For starters, I am a huge Pokemon fan. If you watched my last video, then you saw how I talked about how Pokemon led me down a life of gaming, and eventually led me to start my own gaming company. So it's extremely sad to see how a company that I have grown to cherish are taking measures like this in order to prevent a game from being a good game. If you didn't know, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have filed a patent for the ability to summon a creature in battle. I know it's deeper and more detailed if you dive into it, but on the surface level, to put it simply, this is Think about all of the projects that this could affect, like Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and a bunch of other games that have the same mechanics. There is no other way for me to put this, so I'll just say it. Like, this is bad for gaming because we're almost at the point to where there are no truly new ideas, but iterations of existing ones that are done in a unique way that makes it individualistic. Proven, better, new. And so I'm not talking about taking a direct copy of another game. I think that's terrible for the industry, and we're starting to see that more and more due to the advancements in AI. I think people should stop doing that, seriously. What I'm talking about is the ability to have a different perspective, a creative perspective on an existing game, take, or gameplay mechanics that you can use and implement in your own unique way. Pokemon has literally, in fact, just did this with their recent announcement of Poketopia. Pokopia. Is it Pokopia?
What?
It's Pokopia, which is almost exactly like Minecraft and Animal Crossing, but I'm sure you won't see any patents thrown that way, for one, because Minecraft is the top grossing game ever, and Animal Crossing is an IP for Nintendo, exclusively to Nintendo. So now let's talk Palworld, because they are obviously the hero in the story and who I am personally rooting for. Palworld works because it's not just a Pokemon game with guns, and even if it was, I'm pretty sure it would still be amazing. The real advantage that Palworld has, in my opinion, is that it's a fresh take on the creature collector formula. It mixes in things that Pokemon has never tried, like survival mechanics where your decisions actually matter, base building and crafting that give you ownership over the world that you're in, and real combat systems with weapons and tools that make fights feel dynamic. And on top of that, Pocket Pair, the devs, have listened to their community and pushed free updates that respond directly to player feedback. It doesn't have any paid DLC, and it only costs $30 across all platforms, which is in direct contrast to Nintendo's new $80 per game, $20 per DLC model for content that should have already been included in the game. And then there is the underdog factor. Pocket Pair, being the smaller, newer studio, has the creative freedom to make risks that Game Freak can never take. It can take a risk in things like mechanics, tone, and presentation, and those risks paid off because Palworld didn't just copy Pokemon, it remixed the formula into something new, and gamers loved it because it was a fresh take from a new IP that we have been asking for from Pokemon for years and years and years. That is why it grew in popularity so quickly, not because it was a clone, but because it proved that the genre had space for more than one idea. Now, Pocket Pair has also recently announced Pal Farm. Pal Farm is a farming and life sim spinoff that expands Palworld into a whole new lane. This one is particularly funny to me because not only is the lawsuit complete this announcement directly coincides with Pokemon's announcement of Pokopia. It's cozy, it's multiplayer, and it taps into the exact same creativity and charm that made games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing timeless. What makes this important is that Palworld is showing range. They're not locking Palworld into one formula, they're experimenting. One project is a survival adventure and the other is a cozy farming. Both still leverage the same world and creature but in totally different ways, and in my mind this is how all IPs should start. This is exactly where Pokemon started. But this is the exact kind of risk-taking that you can get from an underdog indie company like Pocket Pair, and it's where Pokemon should have experimented over the past couple of years but have failed to do. And now they're getting the taste of their own medicine with a concept that they can't even begin to patent. Really, Pokemon needs the competition more than almost any other franchise out there. Lately, the mainline games have been struggling. Scarlet and Violet launched with some of the worst performance mechanics that we have ever seen from a Nintendo title. Bugs, glitches, frame drops, and whatever else. Fans weren't just annoyed, they were embarrassed that the biggest media franchise in the world could ship a game in that state. Next, Nintendo has a serious DLC problem that needs to be talked about. Instead of delivering complete polished games, Pokemon has been leaning on paid expansions to fix or add content that probably should have been there at launch. And all of us are starting to see it, especially from the latest Legends ZA trailer that included the announcements of the Mega Dimension DLC. Why is it okay to announce a $30 DLC expansion for a game that's not even out yet? Like, come on, Nintendo, really? But even with all that, the real issue is ambition. Pokemon has been coasting its brand for years and years and years, just making small tweaks and small iterations to games when their fans have been asking for something completely new, something completely different. And Palworld gave us just that. Now we're starting to see a change in the formula from Pokemon with games like Pokopia and Legends ZA and Legends Arceus, but that's what it took. It took a game or a company like Palworld and Pocket Pair to come in and make Pokemon start iterating and innovating and doing something new and actually listening to their fans. Competition matters. Without it, Pokemon would continue to recycle their old ideas because they know that it guarantees sales. So what do I believe Pokemon should do moving forward? I want to start by saying, fun fact, if you didn't know, the average age of a gamer is 36 years old. That fact is very important for what I'm going to say next. I think it's very important for Pokemon to realize that all of their fans that grew up with the game in the mid 90s to late 90s, the early 2000s to late 2000s, and so forth are all older now. We are all young adults to adults now that would love a game to make us feel the way it used to. I enjoyed Let's Go and a lot of the mechanics that were introduced on that game, but I really do feel like it was catered to a younger audience, which I think is actually the perfect way to go. I think that Let's Go is the perfect way to go for a series that capitalizes on its younger audience. You can take the younger audience through the same journey that we all experience, like Johto, Sinnoh, and whatever else, and call the games Let's Go Johto, Let's Go Sinnoh, so forth and so forth. I would even still play those games just to revisit those regions, but ultimately at my age, I want a little bit more challenge to continue on in the series. Legends Arceus was great, and ZA looks like a lot of fun. I'm glad Pokemon is taking the time to create a main series game with similar battle mechanics that we watched from the TV show, but regarding the original games, I miss when Pokemon didn't hold my hand through the entire game. I miss having to figure things out on my own and solving complex puzzles and riddles to find Pokemon. I miss not having Pokemon given to me for free through mystery boxes or wireless codes, instead of finding them through actual discovery and gameplay. I would just like a game dedicated to their fans that grew up with them through the 90s and the 2000s and played some of their more difficult experiences. I think that this is what has made The Legend of Zelda so great. They've stuck to the heart of their difficulty with the puzzle-like dungeon mechanics and relied on us as players to figure it out on our own. Next, I think Pokemon needs to give up on the lawsuit crap and focus on more of their spin-offs like Pokemon Stadium, Pokken Tournament, Pokemon Rangers, Mystery Dungeon, and whatever else, simply because it's what their fans have been asking for. Also, hear me out on this, but why do we not have a Pokemon kart racer? Nintendo is known for making kart racing games. You have Mario Kart, you have Sonic Cross Worlds, you have Kirby Air Riders. Why do we not have a Pokemon version of this? Like, imagine racing across regions with some of your favorite mons, using things like rare candies to evolve mid-race, using other power-ups like choice scarves or whatever else, or using your Pokemon's moveset to your advantage in order to win the race. Driving through Kanto, Johto, Alola, wherever else with the nostalgic music playing in the background, and believe me, I know it's been done 1,000 times, so you may as well just have one more. Actually, on second thought, I'm going to patent that idea, so you need to come to me first. Or even better yet, Palworld should just make a racing game called Pal Racers and beat you to the punch and patent the idea so you can't do it. At the end of the day, Pokemon is a huge IP, literally one of the top grossing franchises in the world. It has inspired many young children who have now grown up to be adults like me. And not only did those children grow into adults, some of those adults have aspired to be game developers and create worlds that are similar to Pokemon because that is what they experienced growing up. And so them building and creating a world that was inspired completely by Pokemon should be what Pokemon strives to achieve. Their youth was inspired by you, their creativity and their career trajectory. And instead of you paving the road for them, you are destroying it with oligarchic practices. At the end of the day, I am not rooting against Pokemon. I still love the franchise. I can't wait for Pokopia. I think that adding Pokemon to a Minecraft, Animal Crossing-like experience is exactly what I needed in order to jump back into that genre personally, and so I'm looking forward to it. But while I am not against Pokemon, I am for competition because I think that competition makes gaming better for all of us. It inspires innovation, it inspires creativity, and it inspires the best of each of these companies. Pokemon, I think that your patent is complete, and I think that the message that you're sending is completely wrong. What you are doing is letting other large gaming companies know that they should be patenting their ideas as well. And to put it simply, I don't believe that gaming has any room or space for monopolization. Gaming is for everyone. But I'd love to know your thoughts because I know there are a ton of Pokemon fans out there. So whose side are you on? Are you on Palworld side? Are you on Pokemon side? Will you still be playing both games or only one? Like, just let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more honest gaming takes from me like this, then be sure to like and subscribe. And last but not least, I just want to say that I am building a a free-to-use gaming platform called Player 3 that's meant to take you back to how gaming used to feel. No ads to strictly gaming. You can share how-tos, tips, tricks, playthroughs, walkthroughs, whatever, and earn through donations or memberships or your exclusive content that you want to share with your community, subscribers, or just the world. So I'll leave that link in the description down below, and you should also join the Discord where we have gamers telling us how we can continuously improve the platform. The Discord link is also down below. In my last video, I actually talked about why I miss the way that gaming used to be and what ultimately led me to building Player 3. So if you want, you can check that video out here. But I'd love to see you on the platform, and I'd love to know your thoughts. If you have any suggestions for what I should make my next video about, be sure to comment down below. And until next time, see you.